kind of a closed off individual. What's happening here? What the is happening? Is this a dream? No way. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Steph, and today I'm checking out Season 1, Episode 4 of Reacher. I have watched the other 3 episodes pretty much back to back, and this is kind of no different here. I'm enjoying this show a lot, and I just think I'm probably going to end up going through this season real quick. So, without further ado, let's just jump into Episode 4. Oh yeah, I guess you could get information out of their phone. Oh, he broke them. Never mind. These murders are kind of pointless a little bit, though, because I think, you know, he could get or he could have gotten some information out of them, but now we're on to nothing. So I don't know how helpful this really was. He's gonna break them. Oh God, that's disgusting. Oh, that noise. That is terrible.
Might be able to get a partial VIN.
We can send photos to forensics.
Old army trick. When you run out of gun oil, acetic acid from ketchup, salt for abrasion, make a great metal cleaner.
Weird. That's crazy.
And you put that in your body.
That's a good point.
You gotta find these guys before they kill any more of our leads.
I know where you can find the South Americans, but they won't talk.
Why not? I'm a good interrogator.
Is he gonna
Not
say it?
that good.
7 bodies since you set foot in my town.
They charged me, and they were armed.
Oh, so he is gonna admit it.
Where the hell are you going?
Get rid of those bodies.
They're evidence. We don't destroy evidence.
Those bodies get found, we'll be flooded with state cops, county cops. We don't know who we can trust. We need to keep them hidden until we find out who killed Joe.
They are really bending the rules, and I'm surprised both of them are going along with it. Like, I understand why, but you would.
Oh my God. His legs.
I did that after.
I'm not sure that makes it better.
That's an exit wound. You shot them in the back. You just told Finley they charged you.
I told Finley what he needed to hear.
Oh God.
What happened
Baghdad.
in Baghdad? If we're gonna see this thing through, I need to know what kind of person I'm working with.
I mean, you'd never know if he's telling the truth, really.
Group of boys, 10, 11 years old, played soccer in a bombed-out hangar every day. Whenever they'd see me, they'd wave. I waved back. Between insurgents and IEDs, I wanted to make sure they got home safe.
Oh, I don't want to see. Is it bad?
3 men from the village were abusing the boys. You can fill in the blanks. I sent the kids away, but stayed to give the adults a choice. They could turn themselves into Iraqi police, or they'd answer to me.
Guess which one they went with.
They'd come for me. So when they did, I was ready.
I mean, that seems valid to me.
So, you have a problem with me killing people who hurt children?
That's unfair.
Because I want to know the kind of person I'm working with.
Like, of course, but from a legal perspective, right? Like, that's her job. But I'm glad she found out this way, because I was thinking this was going to lead up to some big blowout, and then she doesn't trust him anymore, and, you know, it's a whole thing. That resolved way quicker than I expected. Wouldn't you put gloves on or something? I feel like you're still asking for it. Like, if you have to be this secretive about it as a cop, maybe rethink.
When I asked Mosley what kind of business Kleiner was in, he said trucking, real estate, chemicals. You know what he didn't say? Agriculture.
Just a counterfeit, like something revolving that.
Is this really necessary?
Lots of Jags in the city, but only one with plates we'll recognize.
King or 2 queens?
2 queens.
Only 2 queen I have left is a suite.
Not a problem.
Damn it, I was hoping that would turn into 1 bedroom.
Where'd you get all that cash?
From our friends in the trunk. Apparently people get paid a lot to kill me.
These guys are working for counterfeiters. You just paid for our room with counterfeit cash.
I guess it's kind of the least of their worries at this point. Won't this just snap anyway?
Unlikely event someone tracks us here. This won't keep them out, but it'll slow them down. Give me a few extra seconds to get my shot off.
What if the maid busts in?
She'd be a very strong maid.
Be She'd be concerned if that were the case.
You know we're on the 7th floor? No one's got the wingspan to reach that window, not even you.
I know half a dozen sharpshooters that could take us out on the 15th floor. Don't sleep with your head where it's expected to be either.
Oh my god, this is insane. Well, shouldn't she move then too?
I tracked down a lot of Joe's files pertaining to this case. I'll have it copied and collated by the morning. My flight lands at ADL at 5 p.m.
Take the train to 5 Point Station. No real security there.
I look forward to finally meeting you. Not under these circumstances, of course. It's just...
Yeah, so she has some personal connection to Joe.
He'd go on about how smart you are. Maybe too smart for your own good, he'd say, and pain in his ass sometimes.
His siblings are.
He was the only man I ever felt small next to. I'm glad he found you, Molly Beth. My brother was a very particular kind of person.
I'm hoping we get details maybe on the relationship she had with Joe.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Something's gonna happen when they trade off the files. It's not gonna go smoothly.
You're hurting. And you still tried to comfort Molly Beth. You're a good man.
I'm getting comfortable.
I'm gonna shower.
Yeah.
If anybody tries to come through that door,
Shoot him.
shoot them.
I wonder if he doesn't want to talk about Joe because he's shameful in some aspect about maybe something that happened. Or it's just that he's kind of a closed off individual. What's happening here? What the is happening? Is this a dream? No way.
Who's watching the door?
The toothpicks? What the heck? Seriously? I mean, I'm here for it, but... Okay, I...
So, we might get some pushback from Jolly's wife. Husband's murdered. No leads. She's not gonna be liking cops too much.
So it didn't need the single bed, I guess. It didn't really matter. Are things gonna be so awkward now?
So about last night. As far as I'm concerned, it changes nothing.
Okay.
Come on, it changes nothing. Well, that feels awkward.
We'd like to talk to you about Pete.
Something wrong?
We'd just like to speak for a moment.
You're looking for our son.
Is Petey okay?
He's fine. We want to ask him some questions, see if maybe he can help us at all with our investigation.
But Junior hasn't lived with us for a while now. He's over in Brookhaven with his wife, Judy. Here's his address.
Thank you.
I'd be asking some more questions, I think. But maybe that's because I know something's up. I can't figure out where I know this guy from.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Captain, come in.
It's going to have to do with Kleiner, what he said.
Word's going around town you've been harassing Mr. Kleiner.
Yeah.
I was investigating the Morrison murders like you directed me to.
He suggested I consider removing you from your job.
Oh my god.
That file contains the rap sheets of a dozen ex-cons who had a beef with Morrison. Now, I got a town full of anxious voters waiting for me to restore order. Find who killed our brother in arms.
So Reacher is really going to have to get things done because he's the only one not under anyone's influence, I guess.
Do I have your permission to take this call?
Don't fuck with me.
I mean, I liked it.
Just got off the phone with Captain Finley.
Is everything okay? Any news?
Nothing you need to worry about.
I can't imagine being up in the air on that.
Is someone coming to relieve you?
We can't let any more people into the fold, but I'll only be gone a few hours. It's okay. No one knows you're here.
I don't have a good feeling about this.
I'm not supposed to do this, but
You can leave her gun.
do you know how to use this?
My father took me to the range.
If the need arises, do not hesitate to use it.
I'll freak her out a little bit more.
Regarding your husband,
He's dead, isn't he?
God.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
I'm not.
Okay. Why don't you care that your husband's dead?
I warned him over and over that it was going to catch up to him. You know any other truck drivers with a place like this who can pay off their parents' mortgage?
It's a valid point.
He was stealing from his company, from Kleiner. He was hauling air conditioners for them down to Miami. But with the money he was pulling in, something tells me not all those AC units were getting where they were supposed to go.
Yeah, who would honestly believe telling someone I'm a trucker and living in that house?
It's amazing what you'll tolerate when a guy can throw a good hump into you.
Oh my god.
I'm done with Georgia, and I'm done with that asshole.
No love lost there.
Where'd you get on the VIN?
Registered to a Chevy Equinox owned by a car rental company. And the plates get pinged at a motel 40 miles outside Margrave. Both car and motel are under the name Ron Hassett.
That's Joe. Usernames of Yankees backup catchers.
You know, chances are he never checked out of that motel.
So go find the room.
Do me a favor, guys. Hurry up and close this thing out. I'm stuck in the sticks and I'm gonna lose my job.
Yeah, I wonder how long it's been at this point in the timeline.
We need to see if he left behind some personal items.
He did. Briefcase and a garment bag. Picked up about 20 minutes ago.
By who?
Ron Hassey.
What did he look like?
Foreign, maybe Hispanic or something.
Oh, shit.
If you were walking out of there with Joe's stuff looking for his paperwork, what would you do?
Get lost before his giant brother found me.
Right. You'd move fast. Keep the briefcase, dump the garment bag.
Fuck.
That was quick. My God. He hid something in there?
No way.
That's awesome.
Looks like a punch list.
Jesus Christ.
As soon as I fire, we run in opposite directions.
Harder to hit us if we split up.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my God, it gave me a heart attack. Oh, he's so out in the open. He's gotta get hit somewhere.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my God. I was gonna say they could just drive wherever and so oh, now they're stuck. Oh shit. Well, keep going. Oh, one down at least, I guess. Like to see how many bullets left either.
Over the...
Oh my God. Holy shit.
Thanks.
You made them follow you. I don't need you looking out for me. I'm a fucking cop, not some girl who needs your protection. We agreed. Last night changed nothing. What the hell were you thinking?
I don't think that mattered.
I was thinking when Joe died, there was almost no one left in the world I cared about. And that felt bad. And then I met you, and I felt better.
Oh my God. You cannot be mad at him. I don't think it had to mean that something was between them that he tried to take or have them follow him. I don't think so anyway.
You know what? I want to know how the hell those guys got to the motel before we did.
Stevenson took the call from Picard and forwarded it to the main line. He could have listened in.
I guess he found out Joe's fake name and the motel, and they beat us there.
Yeah, well, we're the ones that walked away.
I mean, that's a good point. I was gonna say, anything in the suitcase?
I know you don't need protection, but I went with my instinct, just like I was taught.
That Bishop boy has been a problem ever since we set foot in Okinawa. My boys were only standing up for Billy Dossett.
His dad's thinking about his career, as should you, Stan. Your kid smashed another kid's face in.
So what are we talking about here?
He's gonna find some reason to bust you down a rank, cut your pay.
He's gonna torpedo my whole career.
God, that's brutal.
It's not fair that you get in trouble.
You should have thought of that before you did what you did.
Yeah, I bet it was Jack that did it and Joe's taking the fall. That's my guess anyway.
I'm gonna take care of this. No, you're not. You're 12, Reach. I'm not letting you get involved. But Joe, your instinct was to keep your mouth shut. It was the right one.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It seemed like that's kind of the direction that would go. He's trying to protect him.
Well, PH is obviously Paul Hubble.
I think JW's 901's the area code there.
Jobling's garage and Gray's Kleiner file.
Already been to Jobling's garage. Empty boxes that didn't tell us anything we didn't already know.
Gray didn't have a Kleiner file. When he died, I went through his office and his house.
Let's run a search on these numbers, see who they belong to.
Or we could call them.
Or we can do that.
I hate calling back numbers I don't know. I was like, if I don't know it, they'll leave a voicemail if it's important.
Environmental Protection Agency. How may I direct your call?
Environmental Protection Agency.
So WB is William Bryan, economics professor at Princeton.
My number went to the economics department at Columbia. SC is Professor Stephanie Castillo, also at the European conference, also back in 3 days.
What the hell does Hubble's number being in my brother's shoe have to do with it? Or South America? Or animal feed?
God, I'm getting so confused.
Molly Beth lands in less than an hour, and there might be shorthand in your brother's files only you understand.
I know a PI who can help. My brother was working for Secret Service. Joe's notes had the number to the Memphis EPA office next to the initials, JW.
All I need. You're an emotional dumpster fire.
Oh my God.
It says Molly Beth's plane lands in 15 minutes.
10 minutes to disembark, 5 to use the ladies' room, 10 to walk to the airport subway, 2 to get a ticket at the kiosk. Train departs every 5 minutes.
I want him to be really wrong at least once.
Okay.
They're such a cute little trio. I like it. Yeah, something's gonna happen.
She wants to meet us at...
You're being too obvious. Oh God. I don't see this going well at all. Yeah,
Where is she?
Yeah.
Something's wrong. We need to split up. You take the stairs, you take the elevator.
Oh, don't be empty. Oh. I mean, they couldn't have gotten too far with her. Oh shit.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
Joe.
I mean, I figured something would go wrong, but... So, I was not expecting that scene between Reacher and Roscoe. Like, not whatsoever. I didn't know how to feel about it. I guess I should specify that I'm referring, if it wasn't obvious already, to the, I don't know if I can say the actual words, so the intimate scene between the two of them. I mean, I wasn't against it in the sense that, I mean, I hoped for it at some point. That was hopefully an end goal for them. But I think it did a disservice to their relationship that they had this scene happen so early on. I don't know, again, if it's because they're thinking, okay, it's an 8-episode season, so I don't know, like, make sure we can get everything in. I don't know if it was that, or if they just genuinely thought that was a good time to put it in which case, like, to each his own. I guess I just thought that more buildup would have made it worth it. Whereas I feel like, I don't know if calling it like a pity is appropriate, but that's kind of what it was. Reacher was obviously, well, he's a closed off guy in general, but you know, he'd just been recently talking about his brother and he's unwilling to open up to pretty much anyone. And, you know, he goes off to the shower sad about it. And then I knew something was going to happen only when we saw the beginning of the scene where he's like leaning against the tile wall under the water. Because I'm like, we're not going to just see him standing there in the shower. Like, something's going to happen. But I didn't think it was going to be like that, because all of a sudden there's boobs there. And I was like, oh, she's okay. Like, we're just going to... just going right for it. I mean, I kind of thought, though, props to her on the confidence, because she's just assuming that he's like going to be all for it. And how horrifying would it be if that was like, actually, no, please don't do that. But anyways, obviously it was accepted and everything was fine. And I mean, it was a good scene, but I think it would have been better if they held off on it. And I think, well, the morning after she mentions it, that it doesn't change anything between them, which obviously it does. It's not like nothing's gonna be changed as a result of this like big moment happening. Like, things are gonna go back to normal, like, please. But it really becomes a problem when they are being shot at and Reacher essentially takes the heat off her. So the two shooters will go after him and leave her alone. And once everything is safe, I guess, like the two guys are dead, and one by his hand and one by hers, which was kind of a nice change. But you know, she slaps him for one thing and then goes off on this tirade about how she can defend herself, like he doesn't need to protect her, and she just gets very defensive about the situation, to which he really sweetly basically says Joe was the only person he cared for. Joe is no longer there, and she's someone else that he cares for. So either way, I thought it was really unfair of her, because it's like, even if it were a friend, I feel like you would probably do the same thing. I don't think it's just because they had sex that he felt the need. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it plays a role, but I think, you know, obviously I'm no police officer, but like, if my friend and I were in the same position, I'd rather be the one to like take it if I had the choice. I don't know. I think that was an unfair moment on her part, but based off a comment she made in another episode, I think people look at her as, because she is a woman, that she's not as capable. And I think that's just something that keeps building in her head. So any sign of being viewed weak, she just can't deal with it. And she just lashes out, and that's her way of, I don't know, handling things, I guess, what she thinks she should do. So yeah, that was the sex scene. I liked him picking her up moment. I should stop there. Anyways, we'll move on. So yeah, that kind of touched a little bit on what I was going to say regarding him being closed off emotionally. Obviously, at some point, it's going to come to a head and something's going to happen, I think, one way or another, whether it be him breaking down in some capacity or just kicking more and more ass because he just needs an outlet in that in that way. So I don't know which it'll be, but something's got to happen where it just keeps building and building, and then we're going to hit the max that he can take. I still think it's safe to say that Roscoe and him will become an item, but I don't know where it'll come from. Like if it'll be her pushing for it or him, because she's very clearly at this point drawn a line, but I think it's more also to protect herself, maybe from bad relationship history or something. I don't know, but obviously time will tell, but I'm guessing inevitably they will end up together. Regarding Finley, I don't know what's going to happen with him, because I think the conversation he had with Teal regarding the confrontation he had with Kleiner, you know, he's being shoved more and more off the direction he needs to go to actually solve the case. And I think he's going to end up stepping on too many toes that I don't know if he'll just get fired or if it will be a matter of someone sent after him. But there's no way, I can't imagine that they'll be able to just keep the character doing what he's doing without some sort of repercussion. So I don't know what that will look like, but there's got to be something from Teal's perspective that he's going to get involved in and do and cause more problems than there already are. But he is part of the counterfeit scheme, so he's kind of all about that and doesn't care. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But I think I was not surprised by the exchange between Molly Beth, Reacher, Finley, and Roscoe going sideways. I think you could kind of see that happening a mile away. I didn't think she'd be dead, I will say that, but I definitely thought there would be some consequence. They weren't going to get the paperwork, what have you. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. It did surprise me. It felt kind of like an out from the writer's perspective. Like the way the whole scene happened, it seemed very unlike Reacher, like he would be, based off what we've seen of his character, that I feel like he would be aware of the circumstances and be keeping like an eye on her, not let's just all run over to a different thing and wait for her to come up. Like I just feel like the way he's been shown to us that he already mentally would have been ahead of expecting something to happen. So that felt like a bit of a, I don't know if cop-out is the phrase to use, but it felt like an easy way out of the scenario to make these things happen in the storyline so we could just keep going. But anyways, that's a whole other thing on finding the paperwork and what it means that someone else has the paperwork, and I guess we'll just kind of see where it goes from there. But yeah, so that was season 1 episode 4. Thank you for watching with me, and I will see you guys next time.